Hello, good evening, welcome. Michael here, Deeper States Mind and Wellness. How is everybody doing today? I want to thank you for joining me this evening. New time, new place. Let's see. My social media manager suggested we start doing this in the afternoon, the evening, early evening. That way, people can come in from Facebook as well as not just YouTube. But anyway, today I want to talk to you a little bit about those times where you've planned out your year. You've started trying to figure out what you're going to do for the year. Maybe it's get fit, start going to the gym, make more money, buy a house. And you go through and you start getting this stuff put together. You start deciding what you're going to do, and you find out that you just haven't gotten there. You haven't hit your goals, and you start wondering why. A lot of times what happens is your goal set is great. You have great intentions, right? Intentions, I believe, are made in hell. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about intentions today and really the mindset, why it's important to have a vision and why it's important to be able to put in your mindset where you want to go and what you want to do with that vision, right? A lot of times what happens to us is we get sidetracked along the way. We make our plans for the year, or a lot of times what will happen too is that people say, oh my goodness, you know what, I want to make changes for this year. I want New Year's resolutions, right? So what I found happens all the time with New Year's resolutions is that used to happen to me too. And it's not just you, but I would set my New Year's resolution goal to start going to the gym, to start releasing weight. And what happened was I would gung-ho it, right? From the beginning of January all the way until about February or March, most of the gyms will start to become empty again, because you're putting this expectation that every day you have to do this. Every day you're going to have to do these things to attempt getting fit, right? But when it's a mindset like that and there's this pressure, it becomes you don't reach those goals. Those pressures become endless dreams, right? Hopeless dreams. But it's much better to have a way to be able to put it together and know where you're going or know what you're doing for the year. That way, you're setting your goals, your intentions, and you're able to go from a thought process and the intention to creating a way that you're able to hit those goals and achieve them. My name is Michael Almers. I'm a clinical neurolinguistic programming hypnotherapist, and I'm based here in Los Angeles, California. And my topic today is going to be the vision board. Since The Secret came out in '98, I started doing vision board classes, and we have that pretty locked down. I've learned the method of how to manifest, how to create, how to put your mindset in the right place to be able to achieve those goals. And it can't be just putting out in the universe. And I'll tell you, I get a lot of flack for this. In a moment, I'll show you a short video that shows some of the vision board classes we've done in the past, and they used to be big events, but I've learned a lot. And one thing I'll tell you I've learned is that you can't just sit there and do a mantra. You can't do just a hope and a wish. It's so important for you to put in perspective what you can achieve and what you can't achieve. What I mean by that is that if you're going to say you're going to be a doctor by the end of the year, then you had to have already started going to school for some period of time, right, in order to qualify as being a doctor. If you have dreams that are not tangible, you're not going to achieve them. And we'll talk a little bit more about those. What are things that you can achieve, and what are things that you know you're capable of doing? But my name is Michael Almers. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. In a moment, I will show you a video, just an intro that's going to show you some of the classes we've done, some of the stuff I've done in the past, and I'm going to give you more of an insight about how to make a vision board. That's going to be my main topic. But how to hit those goals, and why it is to super focus. You have to focus on what it is that you want. And I know that many of you out there are really good at this, because many of you have taken my courses year after year after year, and you guys have had achievements. You've had goals. You've hit your goals year after year, and you keep coming back. So this class does fill quite rapidly. But today I'm going to kind of break in a little bit more and kind of hit the subjects that why things work and why things don't work. So just 1 minute here, I'm going to show you a video of some of the stuff that we've done in the past. And you saw a lot of pictures in there, and a lot of those people were actually people that had been done in my have done my vision boards. That first one was, I think, a long time ago. It's over 14 years ago. That's how long we've been creating vision boards. But and then the newer ones, as you saw, were I think 2017, 18. No, I'm sorry, 2019 was our last vision board before the pandemic hit. But I want to talk to you a little bit about why some people achieve their goals and why some don't. You know, if you come up with mantras, it's great. It helps a lot. I think it helps a lot to keep our mind in the right space in order for us to be able to achieve things. But when it comes to a year thing, what I like to do is I like to put those processes into forms of picture, auditory, visual, kinesthetic, because we're all those, right? Every human being is visual, kinesthetic, auditory. And the best way to do that is to create a vision board. And I don't know if, I hopefully you saw that on there. A vision board is mainly a board that has picture forms of what it is you're going to achieve. Now, what I found works really, really well, and I've done this ever since I started this vision board process. I started doing my vision board class all the way back when The Secret came out. And I took some classes and I trained with Michael Beckwith from the Agape Church, who was in the movie The Secret. And one thing we learned through that whole process was that it's something we all know. We all know how to manifest. We all know how to create our own environment of what it is, right? What you believe, you will conceive. What you think of becomes your reality. But there's one thing that's missing, and this is one thing that even during the time I was starting to learn how to teach these courses, I found this out, is that if you have the mindset, you can build all the mantras, but if there's never an action, you're never going to get a reaction, okay? That being said, so if you set out plans for the year, in 6 months you may forget what that plan was, right? In 2 months you may forget what that plan was. Hell, sometimes you sit there and you think, oh, I want to accomplish this week, and you think about it for the first Monday, Tuesday, and then the rest of the week you forget about it and nothing happens. Then you zone back around and you're like, oh man, I wish I would have achieved that. Well, the really cool thing about what you can do with a vision board is that you can go in and put in place the pictures that you want. The way I build our vision board is that bottom layer is your foundation. Things that you know that you have that you know are yours, right? Family, a home, a car, a job, 2 legs, 2 arms, to be able to do action, 2 children if you have children, a dog that you love that gives you unconditional love. The bottom is a foundation of things that you have that are solidified for you. In the middle, we're going to put the action process, the things that have to come together in order for you to reach the upper level, the top of your pyramid, basically, right? And what we do is we put this together in picture format so that your mind sees it in an unconscious level. Once you're done with your boards, I have you put the boards to the right of you, wherever you're at, like in your bathroom, on the right of the mirror. Or some people would put it next to their bed. And what happens is now it's becoming an unconscious desire. It's no longer thrown in your face. And that goes back to the time when, remember you wanted that brand new car. Maybe you were young and you thought, oh my God, I want that BMW. It's got to be red. And you went and you manifested that car because you kept thinking about it. And all of a sudden it was in your face, right? You started seeing it everywhere. And then you forgot about it. But every time you saw that BMW, that red BMW, it re-clicked in your unconscious mind. And you thought, oh man, I want that car. And eventually, sometimes most of us work into those goals or those achievements. Because it's done in the unconscious level. It's not done in the conscious forward part of the brain. When you focus on something so hard that it engulfs your life or becomes everyday part of your life and your neurology, right? Then it becomes work. And one thing I did find in my whole time doing this is that humans want pleasure. We don't want something to be so stressful that we're working to achieve those goals, and we're working so hard that we're not reaching them. We're not reaching them because we are actually going in and we're trying to succeed and we're not. Hey Warren Davis, how are you? Welcome. What happens is that we are setting those goals, but we're not going in to achieve them based on frustration, I guess, based on having it in our face all the time. What the vision board does is it puts it into the format where now it's picture form. So when you set it in the unconscious mind will see it, it'll grab it, and it'll pick it up. It'll achieve it because it's grabbing it piece by piece. And we make it fun. So in my class, we're going to talk about what are the things you need, what are the things you desire. And then when you put it together, we use hypnosis throughout the entire class, through the whole workshop. Getting you hypnotized, getting the unconscious and conscious mind to relax, getting it to open up, getting that third eye, to open for you to see a full vision of what you want. And we talk about it. I mean, what's going to change in your life when you achieve this two things, these three things? How much better will your life be? Are you going to achieve certain things that are really beneficial to you and to your family? And as we start working through those, you're going to find that the manifestation becomes a reality based upon the unconscious behavior. And what I mean by that is that you're no longer wishing it. Now you're dreaming it, or you're feeling it, or it's becoming part of that back part of your unconscious mind. I like to say that our unconscious mind is like the turbulent sea, right? It's the undertow of the ocean. So the ocean is running on top, and these are the waves of saying, oh my gosh, I want to get a new car. Oh my gosh, I need a new house. We need to move to a bigger house because the children are going to need this space. But on top of this area up here are the questions of like, well, how are we going to get there? What is it going to cost us? Oh my God, all these things come into play. And sometimes it's outside influences. What I like to do is get that undertow, that part of it that's questioning things, and reprogram that undertow. Reprogram the unconscious behavior to start to respond the way that we want it to respond. Not the way that it's just responding on its own. Because when it responds on its own, it goes with the defeat of purpose, right? It goes into this place of, oh man, in the past I couldn't achieve that. Or, in the past, every time I tried to do that, this happened and it was horrible. Or, I would just almost get there and not achieve it. By creating the vision board, it's really important to be able to have not just a future, but a pathway to get there. And that's what the middle part of that board is. It's going to show you the things you need to accomplish in order to be able to achieve those things. It's interesting because a lot of times what happens is we overwhelm our unconscious mind. I had a young lady that came to one of my classes. This must have been 20 years ago. And she created her board in class and did what we were going to do, but she never finished it. She had a lot of empty spaces. And, our classes used to be 3 days long. So, in 3 days, she wasn't able to complete that. So you could imagine how much was going in her mind, how much she was actually sitting there and getting all this stuff. She was bombarding herself with emotions and needs and wants. So much so she went home and next to her bed, she took her entire wall. And she took that wall and she completely covered it. Just covered that back wall with cutouts from things that she desired, from her relationships. She wanted the perfect relationship, from what the man needed to be like, to what car she wanted, to what apartment she wanted to move to. She had everything on that wall. And it was interesting because a year later we came back and we did our vision board again. And I asked her, I said, how are things going? What happened? Did you ever finish your board? Oh my God. She goes, I put it up. My entire wall is my board and I'm so overwhelmed. I'm frustrated. It's been the most frustrating and overwhelmed year I've ever had in my life. Well, of course. Now you're waking up in the morning. Imagine waking up in the morning and having tons of things thrown at your unconscious mind. The pressure's pretty hard, huh? You're taking a lot of pressure in order to achieve those or to feel that. So what happens is that pressure builds and it becomes failure. You're self-sabotaging yourself into failure. So it's really important to be able to put it together so that it makes sense in your head. Now, when you go in with hypnosis, now we're getting the underlying layer, right? So we're going to change that undertow, that part of you that says, oh, I can't do this, or, that's too hard, or I need to be able to do this before I do that. And sometimes that's true. You might have to get a new job in order to achieve that $1 million home in Beverly Hills. And that's where I want to talk a little bit about goal setting, right? It's okay to set waffly goals, but if the goal is too waffly and you're not going to achieve it, it's internal disappointment. So I like to get my students to go in and understand that when we're setting goals, our goals need to be goals that are attainable. A new car is very well attainable, isn't it? You might have to save money. You might have to be able to put maybe a certain percentage in the bank account, and that an automatic deposit would happen for that. And then put that on your board. So the deposit is there in the center as an action field, right? Maybe you can even come up with the money that needs to be put in that bank account. Maybe it's $150 a month for the year, for 12 months, right? Whatever it takes for you to get the down payment, or if you're looking to buy a brand new car, then you go and you figure out how much the payment's going to be on that car you want. because you know it's only going to go down in the year, right? So you can go ahead and make an auto deposit into your account for that amount of money. Now, every time you see your board unconsciously, through seeing it on the side view of your mind, right? The brain will sit there and go to the playfulness of, oh, I can't wait. That's going to be my new car. I'm so excited that I'm going to achieve that. And then it'll let it go. Much like seeing the red BMW, right? It's not sitting there in your face constantly, but you see it. You see it as you move through your life. You see it as you move through your motion. And it's really important for your dreams and your ambitions to be set up like that. Do things that you know that you can achieve. Maybe you've been putting them off for a long, long time. Or maybe it's something that you know that you can achieve because you have the education to do it. Or maybe you know that you can achieve it because you have the financial well-being to do it. Maybe it's something that you can achieve because it's just being a better person and changing one thing in your personal life that's going to affect everything else. But the key is going to really be that you actually go in and you understand how the unconscious behavior operates. Okay, and I'll teach you that in our workshop. I'm going to teach you why it is that the unconscious mind puts its goals on certain things, and why it is that a lot of times what happens in our life is that when we're programmed human beings, right? Some of us are in trance all the time. We're always in trance, but some of us are in pretty shitty trances where we're thinking negative things all the time, and we're not good enough. We can't reach those goals. We're not, we're not this. We're not that. But others of us are in trance where we can believe we manifest and we create. And I really do believe that's the best experience to be in. Hypnosis and NLP puts you in that state. It puts the mind at ease, lets the unconscious rest, and it allows you to create the board based on what it is that your skill sets are. Another tip I want to give you guys, if you're looking at reaching goals and dreams, make them waffly. Make them big. Make them big goals. But make sure that in the middle of that page, in the middle of your board, you put together the actions it takes to reach those goals. All right. If I'm going to launch a new course and I want the course to be an evergreen course, I have to be able to, in my mindset, know what does that have to consist of? Well, how long is it going to take me? What do I need it? When do I need it to be put together? So I need to put together everything that has to happen, right? So if I give myself 12 months, I can put in the middle all the things, all the steps it takes for me to get to that main goal. Maybe I could have automation putting out the course. I could have people purchasing it. I could have, visualization is huge, a huge process. And when you put your mind in the idea of what it needs, and not in the idea of not being able to achieve it, but in the idea of knowing that it will achieve it when it does this, this, and this, it makes your progression much easier. It makes that need much simpler in order for you to be able to not have to fail. And that's one thing that the unconscious mind, you fail enough times, it quits trying, right? It just stops. I had a client one time that was telling me, I've been trying to become a nurse, an RN, for quite a while, and I keep failing my exams, and it's because I go in there and I get very overwhelmed. That's the unconscious mind. That's that undertow that I'm talking about. That's sitting there telling her, you fail all the time. You can't do this. It's too difficult. So until you calm that out, or you ease the stress of that, and you give it a different way to think about it, then what happens is that it calms down the undertow of the unconscious behavior. Then the conscious mind can work on just the actual functioning part of getting things done, right? The part of going to school, studying, the part of learning, the part of taking a test. Hypnosis does some wonderful things. I'll tell you, I've been a clinical hypnotherapist for over 25 years. I think it's been a while. And I'll tell you, it's changed my life. I've seen clients that have it's changed their world. I mean, during our lockdown, I've seen clients that have become alcohol-free and drug-free after years and years of clinical therapy and not getting anywhere. But again, it's a mindset, isn't it? And when you do a vision board, you can accomplish huge things for the year because it's putting it in a perspective that's going to change what you need for yourself. And the big thing about it is you have to feel it. You have to sense it. You have to know it. You have to experience it. You get these little kids that, look at Mozart. He played piano at 14, 12 or 14, right? Do you think there was questioning going on in that undertow about whether he could achieve that or not? Kid just started playing, and he's a genius. Yes, there was other additives happening to that. We don't know what those were, but the mind is pretty powerful. It accomplishes a lot of things if you allow it to, right? So there's a lot of people on YouTube in here again. We're still getting YouTube people. I have one person here on Facebook. Looks like I have 3 people here on Facebook. 2 of you are really quiet. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments, and I'll be able to read them, and I'll bring them up, and we can address them for a little bit and talk about what ideas that you have. And like I said, I've done the vision board since '98, and the class is pretty cool. It's very. I want people that are going to want to get involved, because I will put you in situations where you're going to have to talk. I mean, you're going to have to share your experiences. You have to share why you think you don't succeed. Why is it that you feel like you're not reaching your goals? What's happening with that? And as we start to break that down, we'll find out more about you, and then we'll start to be able to put together a program that works for you, right? Because not everybody operates the same way. Now, in my vision board class, one thing we do is I try to keep everything so that it is diverse enough so that nobody gets left behind. I don't make it so complicated that it becomes this mess where people don't get their boards done. Now, if you don't get your board done, normally it is because you've got so much going on that we got to hone in on that. And I'll be honest, some people don't hone in on that. At the end of my 3-day live workshops, we had people that had not finished their board. Not a lot. We'd have like 1 or 2 or maybe 3 people that just couldn't even get to the finishing of putting their board together, or they'd do partial of it. And a lot of that is just, it's very hard for people to hone in on what they want. We all know what we don't want, right? Everybody knows what they don't want, but very few people know what they want and what we can actually achieve. I mean, like I said, if you're looking to come to my board class and you're going to say, oh, I want to be a doctor next year, and you haven't taken one medical class, it might not happen for you. And we'll talk about that. We'll come back and we'll find the goals that are real for you. What it is you can do that is a reality for you. Okay. Before I leave you guys, I want to offer you guys the class before I offer it to anybody else. Nobody else. This has not even gone out to my email list, but I figured if I was talking about it today, I wanted to go ahead and just at least put it on here so you guys can have an opportunity to join. With this class, I'm going to only be doing I'm only going to be doing 30 people in this class, just mainly because it gets really busy, and a lot of people, I have had people that say, oh, I don't understand what abundance is. I've had people say, I don't know what that means. How do I achieve abundance? How do I reach abundance? And abundance really is everything, you guys. It's everything. Abundance is, your family. Do you love your family? Are you all communicating well? It is money as well. We're entitled to money. If you work hard, you're entitled to a good living, right? If you manifest your dreams, you're entitled to an expensive car. It all comes together and it all falls into place. I think that we were given this life to do our best. And that's one thing I've learned through the past years of me doing this workshop, is that a lot of people don't know what they want out of their life. A lot of people are just going day by day. And if this is you, I'll tell you, this class will help you hone in on what you want for yourself and what the experiences are that you need for yourself. And like I was saying a little bit earlier, is that, don't make it a difficult thing to manifest your wants and your needs and your dreams. It has to be pleasurable. It has to be fun. Because if you're in a position where you're struggling to make these things happen for yourself, it becomes very, very detrimental to you. Because what happens is the unconscious mind knows what failure is, right? The more it fails, the more it quits. The more it quits, the less it'll try. The less it tries, the more you just push it out. I can't tell you how many people I've known that I have seen that are clients that are live, older people. They're like, if I would have just gotten so much more done in my life, I would have felt so complete. And these were cancer patients that were terminally ill and passing. And there was one thing that many of them would say. I never had one of them say, if I accomplished so much, and I just really wish I would have accomplished so many things in my life. But the thing is that, you can't look back. You have that one opportunity. I've been doing vision boards with myself and with my clients since 1998. I believe that's what the year was. Don't quote me on that. But it was the year that The Secret came out. I mean, I worked with Michael Beckwith, and he taught us a course that was teaching us how, one, to show the secret to everybody, to get it out there. And then the second part of that was to show how to create the glass. And that was one thing I learned with that, was that I went ahead and I made some changes on that, and I made it so that we created the vision board and added the hypnotherapy into it so we could actually get into the underlying processes of the unconscious behavior and how it operates. But I posted here on the link, and if you want to join us, save your seat. It goes pretty quickly. Like I said, I'm only taking 30 people in this class. When I were doing live events, we take like 45 and 50. But I had staff and other people working with me. This is a virtual board class, and it will be done online. We'll be doing it through Zoom. I will do a full presentation. It's open forum. You guys can talk, ask questions. We'll talk about your goals. Are they too lofty? Are they not lofty enough? Should we set them a little bit higher? So anyway, thank you guys so much. The link I will leave here in the chat. And just click on the link if you guys would like to join. It's a low buy-in price for that course. And I do it because I love it, and I do it because I believe that, we all have an opportunity in life, and if you don't seize that opportunity and know how to create and manifest it, you kind of cheat yourself, right? So anyway, thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time. This was not too long of a live, I hope, but every Thursday we're going to be doing this Thursdays at 5:30 in the afternoon Pacific Standard Time. Invite your friends, start bringing people in. As we grow, it'll be more fun. We can allow people to come in and ask questions and be a part of this live as well. All right, everybody, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Michael Almaraz, Deeper States Mind and Wellness. And the link in the bio, the link in the chat is for the class that's coming up on February 26th and 27th. Yes. And it'll be from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So the class will go from 5 to 8 p.m. every those 2 days, a Saturday, Sunday, and it'll give you opportunity to go into hypnosis, to experience it, to build your board. A lot of people build their board on Canva, and a lot of people build their board the old-fashioned way. I personally love Canva now. Last year we had, I think, 10 people that still created their board on a piece of cardboard, a poster board. And it's great. I mean, it's awesome because now they have this tangible part that they place wherever they want. I did mine on my phone. And it was great on my phone because I had it with me everywhere I go, right? Who doesn't carry their phone? I mean, I have clients who are like, oh my God, I wake up to TikTok in the morning, right? So the good thing is that you see it on your phone and you're unconsciously driving into it. You're consciously looking at those goals, those dreams, those wants. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you, and I look forward to seeing you guys all next Thursday. Remember, create your life by design and make it your own design if you can. Deeper States Mind and Wellness and Michael Almaraz, I appreciate you guys, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. And let's see, hopefully I can find where we are. All right, you guys, take care, and thank you so much. I'm going to leave you with a video that's a promotional for the vision board that's coming up, and then I'll close everything out. And like I said, if I know you want to join the vision board class coming up in February, the link is sitting in the bio, and I'll also place that in there manually as well, because I think sometimes you guys can't click on the stuff I put in there. Alrighty, thank you, take care, have a good night, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
I think these videos are brilliant, and I'm sure you will like them too. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell.